Hello, Earle Pughe here. Today I've got an exciting event. I've got a new guitar. So I see there's a lot of unboxing videos on YouTube, and I don't understand the fascination myself, but figure I'll do one and see if I can't get some kind of a enormous hit with it. So it's a solid body electric guitar. Came in this box. It's kind of a big box for solid body electric guitar, but if I open it up, we'll see that inside this big box there is actually the factory box. So if I open the box, we can see we've got the factory box, and it's inside the big box, all kinds of foam protecting it. When I shook the box, there were no rattles. That's always a good sign. So they packed it well. So far I'm liking these guys, and it's a positive experience. So I can also see that there's some tape here, and the factory tape's cut. So the company I got this from has actually opened the guitar and looked at it, made sure that it doesn't have an obvious problem. That's really also a good sign. It means that they're taking some care here. So I'm liking this so far. So we've got the guitar. Came in a factory box, inside a big box with foam, and it's in a gig bag, and it's got some protection for the headstock in the gig bag. So the guitar has really got a good chance of making it to me with no damage. It also came with a truss rod wrench. It's always good to have. So the first thing I did was I just took a look at it and looked and see, are there any scratches or cracks or anything? Everything looked good. A couple little shipping scuffs. I've had the guitar for a few days now, so I've put more scuffs on the guitar than it arrived with. I've got a very limited amount of time where I could return this guitar, so I want to check it. I need a few things to check it. You should have a machinist rule. Get one at the hardware store. It's 6 inches. It goes down to 64ths of an inch. It's a tool that you need if you're going to do any guitar maintenance at all. I also have a straight edge, and I've got a so-called fret rocker. So first thing I'm going to do is check the neck and see if the neck is well adjusted. I'm actually going to adjust it and make sure that it will go dead straight, and then readjust it so it has just a little relief. And then I will put the fret rocker on it and check the frets and make sure that there's a good level. So you can see I've got the guitar on the bench. I've got this block here. It's got various cutouts in it, but it supports the neck, so I'm not resting on the headstock and the tuners. Truss rod covers off. So I adjusted the truss rod, and it'll go dead straight. So I readjusted it so it has just a little relief. I recommend you use a post-it. If you've got feeler gauges, that's great too. I like my necks straight. So I've got it set for about 4 thousandths relief. If you go straighter than that, you're likely to get a little bit buzzy. If you play really hard, you might need just a little more, but that's a good safe starting point. So take the fret rocker and put it over. You want to make sure that you're parallel to the string, so you can just set it against the string. And I check this, all the way up, groups of 3 frets. And there's a tiny bit of rock, but that's kind of normal. Just on a tiny bit on fret 10 there, just in the middle. Everything else looks great. So I'll check that when I play it, and if it doesn't buzz, I'm not going to touch it. If it does, I might do a spot level on that 1 fret. One of my students said, well, why don't you just get it plecked? Well, if you have a brand new fingerboard and brand new frets, and they're properly installed, you shouldn't need a plec, and they're $300. So, you know, if it arrives and it needs a plec, then it kind of doesn't pass my smell tests. But this guitar definitely passes. Next thing I'm going to do is you just need a Phillips head screwdriver. I want to check the hardware, make sure that it's tight. It's got the sort of vintage style tuners. I loosen the string a little bit, and then loosen each screw one at a time, a quarter turn, and then snug it up a little bit. And you know, the tuners will press a little bit into the finish. So they all took just a tiny bit there. Probably you don't have to do that, but it's a good idea. Then check the strap buttons. If one of those lets go, that would be a bad thing. I remove the output jack, and there's a nut on the inside, and I just put a lock washer in there and put the nut back on. To me, that's a more secure way to do it. My intention on this guitar was to basically throw away the electronics and put new in, but I took the plate off and discovered that there were full-size volume pots, and I said, you know what, that's great. I don't have to do that. Here's the cover for the switch. The switch was just a tiny bit loose, the nut, so tighten that up a tiny bit. On the front, you've got 4 knobs. Under each knob, there's a nut. So when you have the back plate off, turn the knobs, and make sure that the pot isn't moving around on the inside of the guitar. If it does, the solder is going to fail, and you know, then you're going to be unhappy. So these knobs are really hard to get off without either damaging the knob or damaging the guitar. But I removed all 4 knobs, and you know, gave just a tiny bit of a snug on the nuts on the pots. So far, I'm liking this guitar a lot. I put the tuner on it and tuned the guitar, tuned all 6 strings, open, and check the harmonic. If the string is actually in tune, the harmonic will be the same. And sometimes the tuner picks that up a little bit better. Then I'll check the tuning at the 12th fret. It's good on every string. Now, many guitars will play sharp on frets 1, 2, 3. So, you know, you play a bar A chord and you sound great, but you try to play an open G chord or a D chord or a C chord, and you run into problems. So I want to check and make sure that, you know, not just the 12th fret is in tune, but the others are too. And if the others aren't, then there's no way I can really get the guitar in tune. So the good news, those first 5 frets are in tune. Fret 15, is very close to perfectly in tune. It was a tiny bit flat on the high E. Intonation on this guitar is better than on a lot of other guitars that I own. So that makes me happy also. All right, so now finally get around to making some noise with this guitar. But you know, if it's got an underlying problem, you know, if the neck rod doesn't work, or if the frets aren't properly installed or something like that, you know, then it doesn't really matter what it sounds like. It's not a keeper. So this one, you know, everything checks out. So I like the neck shape. It fits my hand well. It sounds good on open chords. If we shut it off, we can hear the guitar just acoustically. Has a nice sound. I find that if I have a guitar that sounds good acoustically and it has good pickups in it, it will probably sound good. If I have a guitar that sounds very dead, it's not good for me. Some of my friends use modelers, and they prefer a dead sounding guitar. It's easier for them to get the modeler to work exactly right. I don't tend to do that, so I want a guitar that's got a little character. And so this has got, it's got a nice ring. Got decent sustain, you know, unplugged. When I first got it, I checked the pickups one at a time. And the third string was a little bit hotter than the fourth string or the fifth string. So I took a small flathead screwdriver, and you know, the pole pieces are adjustable. So I raised the pole pieces on strings 5 and 4 until I got a nice string balance. So this is why they're adjustable. So it's you know, you can't if you use a little care, you can't do any damage, and you can do a lot of good. Same thing on the bridge pickup. The third string was a little hotter than the fourth or the fifth string, so raise the pole pieces a tiny bit, and everything's good. So now I want to make sure that the electronics do function. We can see that the switch works. There's both pickups. There's just the neck pickup. Volume control works. It has a nice taper. Tone control works. Volume control works. Tone control works. No scratchiness. No dropouts. This guitar came with lower output pickups than a lot of the import guitars. A lot of import guitars arrive with really hot pickups that, in my opinion, are muddy sounding, and they don't. To me, they don't sound good. They're just loud. So this guitar's pickups are not real loud. They're plenty hot enough. You know, they're not wimpy, but they're not overwound. So if I play that G7, there's the bridge pickup. You know, I can pick out those notes. A minor 7. Neck pickup. That's you know, is that clear, or does that get muddy? And sounds nice to me. So I'll just, you know, play something with 2 parts and see if I like how it sounds. So I like to play some Bach on a guitar because you know, he's into counterpoint, and you know, I want to hear do both parts come out distinctly. So even if I'm never going to play Bach on the guitar, which is probably the case with this guitar, that's a good test. If I like how that sounds, I'm probably going to be happy with it on any other style. So there's a quick review of the guitar. I'm liking it a lot. I think it's a keeper. Now we'll take a look at the bag. So it comes with a bag. It's got a yoke here, and I actually put this on and put the guitar in it and ran around the parking lot. And it's kind of nice. Some of my guitar bags, if you do that, they start to slide off. This, that yoke kind of keeps it on your shoulders. A bag that stays on you, that's a great feature. Now, it's got a decent zipper. You know, it's nice looking. I'm hoping that all the manufacturers are watching, because I have my one complaint here with this bag is your average music book is 9 by 12 1/4. And if I set this against the pocket, you'll notice that that the pocket has rounded corners. And what's going to happen is the corners on my book are going to get damaged. You know, it needs to be just a little bigger. You know, it's no secret how big music books are. I don't understand why you can't put a bag, you know, the pocket on the bag to fit the music book. Now, I don't want to rag just on this manufacturer. So here's a bag by another manufacturer. Same problem. Basically, the pocket has the same dimensions as the book, but the book's got square corners. The pocket's got rounded corners. So you put the book in the pocket and it gets damaged. So if I'm doing a show and they give me a book and I damage it, this upsets the conductor. So I would rather not have that happen. So please, you know, if you got to put those rounded corners on, you know, just make the pocket, a quarter of an inch bigger. Let it fit the book. Get a clue. One more bag with the book. Okay, so this manufacturer puts a pocket on the bag that, you know, the pocket is bigger than the book. I like this bag a lot. I wish everybody would just take a lesson from these guys. This is a really important feature to us old guys that still carry books. That's my one very small complaint, but it's attention to detail, I guess. You know, just those rounded corners, or make the pocket a little bigger. Everybody'd be happy. I hope you've enjoyed this video on unboxing and checking out a new guitar. I haven't gotten one in a few years. It's really it's a lot of fun to get something new. It's a new toy. I had to let something else go to get this. It was a heartbreaker to let it go, but I'm happy with this. So please give me a like. Please consider subscribing, and have a great week.